What is up YouTube, it is Matty and this is the How to 3-Star with Hogs series, and the specific feature or topic or portion of the raid we're going to be talking about today is all about funneling. And yeah, obviously if you haven't seen this series before, if this is the first time you've seen the How to 3-Star with Hogs, I have done 2 other episodes, the introduction and the scouting episode, so please look at the links in the description for this video, or you might see the little thumbnail on the right hand side to link it to the other videos anyway, but please go check those out, obviously leading up to this one, because now we're starting to move into this series slightly, and we're gonna be discussing the funneling element of an attack. And it's arguable that funneling is one of the most important parts of the raid. It's the bit where you have to spend quite a bit of time and attention to get it right, because it's very easy to not get right. And everyone's going to have seen it in a new in a clan where everyone's going for 3 stars, or a clan where it's go wipe. You're going to see heroes running around the outside of the base. You're going to see Peckers running around the outside of the base, or if you're doing your Goho and Larloon strategies, you're going to see your king and your queen running around the outside of the base. And that is all basically done, sorry about that, because the funneling wasn't correct. And that's as simple as it is. So what we're going to do is just start breaking it down. In fact, I'm going to go back. I'm going to flick my language over to English, because I know a lot of people like that. But let's start with a basic question. What is funneling? Funneling is when you create a route for certain troops to get into the base by clearing an amount of external buildings, or external or internal buildings actually, and so that your king and your queen and golems normally have no other choice but to move inwards to the inside of the base to your target destination, which might be towards the queen, it might be towards giant bomb threats, it might be to the core, wherever it is. It's the process of making sure that they go the right way. And funneling is typically by using golems to distract certain defenses that are in the way, or that could kill the funneling troops, where you use wizards and or minions to destroy the buildings that are going to potentially make your troops move the wrong way. So I've got a couple of bases and a couple of attacks that have been done to sort of supporting evidence or supporting discussion points, and I think we'll kickstart it with number 23. And there's going to be certain points I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to use Skitch, which is the app, to do a bit of markings on the drawings as well, so I can sort of talk you through. But yeah, here's an example. So let's just say you want to go in to kill the enemy queen on this base, okay? So there's the queen platform. The natural route to go in is straight sort of through the wizard tower, through the air defense, and into the core that way. Now, assuming that is an incorrect wall, and if that wall was actually a full length one, you'd probably have to use wall breakers to break in the first layer. You'd probably have to use a jump spell on the second layer to actually get to her. On this base though, you could probably just use a couple of wall breakers to break in the first layer, and because there's a sort of wall that's been moved, there's a gap, your heroes will move through, the queen will jump over that layer of wall and you'll get in anyway. But let's look at the funneling side of things. So the funneling is where it's the outside buildings and it's the buildings that are in the way. So I'm going to take a little screenshot of this base now. I'm just going to get the snapshot right. There we go. And we're going to move outside this app and into Skitch, which, when I remember where I've stored it, we'll go in. There we go. Okay, because this will help me annotate and sort of discuss and help us to clarify what I mean. Oh, don't know what that text was. Okay, there we go. So this is the app. So assuming that if I draw a black arrow for the route we want to go in, we want to go in that way towards the queen. So what will happen is, if my queen starts, if I drop my queen just initially, she's going to, let's assume, if I move over to the free draw part, and I'll use white just to be a bit different. Let's assume I drop my queen here. What she'll do is she will hit that building, then she will move that out of the way a sec. Then she will hit the barracks, then she, depending on if you drop her more to the left or the right, so if I dropped her there, she would then probably hit the barracks, hit the builder hut, hit the dark barracks, hit the cannon, and then she would start on a pathway that way, because she'll always go for the closest building that's to her, and she's got a range, so she'll shoot over walls. In fact, she might even hit that elixir storage first. She might, after the I think after the barracks, she'll hit the storage, and then she'll continue to move right. You've got to assume that there's no Teslas next to that cannon. If there are, it won't make a difference. You'll shoot the Teslas first. So we need to stop her doing that, because we want our queen to go inside the base and take some of maybe the arch towers down, or some other buildings that are in there. We want her to go inside, take down the clan castle as well, because you'll find if your golems and your king go inside to go and kill the queen, and your queen's run off, the enemy clan castle comes out, and it's a dragon and loons. There's going to be really nothing to stop them from just wrecking your golems and then your king. And your queen's going to be off shopping somewhere. She's going to be sort of in the middle of Tesco's by now. And then the dragons are going to come over and go for her. And your objective hasn't been met of killing the queen, or particularly killing the CC. Then you're going to try and drop Hogs in a rush, and she's going to be being shot, and this, that, and the other. It'll go to pot. So what you need to do, if I clear that all off now, is create a route to hold on, let me delete these final things. Make it so that the queen has no choice. So let's break it down. The king, the it's hard to explain. The way the king's most obvious fail is the fact that the external buildings are not cleared. So with the external buildings, you need to make sure you create a wide enough funnel. Now let's use this as an example here, because wizards and minions are the obvious troops to do this. So the bottom side of the base, you can see there's no, assuming there's no Teslas there, remember that, because if there is Teslas there and they pop up and they shoot your minions, then you're in trouble. But I could potentially drop a minion, 2 minions on there for the time to try and take it down, potentially even 3. Oh gosh, you can't draw at the bottom. 3 minions there, a minion on the barracks, maybe 2, just to make sure that they do it in a quick enough time. They're not going to be targeted by the cannon. The arch towers are too far back. They will then take down the dark storage, they'll take down the builder huts, they'll take down the barracks, and that's perfect, because then the queen, that side of the base is clear. But however, on the north side of the base, you can identify that there's an archer tower there. So what you want to do in this specific scenario is make sure that the if I say drop my golem in a position where I want it to break in. So if I'm going to break in near the wizard tower, you need to look at the defences that are around. So the cannon, the range, I know that that's not going to affect any wizards I put sort of up to the far left elixir pump there. The wizard tower's got short range, and the mortars you don't particularly need to worry about, because they're too slow to kill wizards. Wizards kill buildings quicker. So now if I get my little white pencil out again, and we'll do this size. So if I've got my golem, which the actual little blob for has gone, which is highly annoying. Let me get it back. Wow, this is so much fun. There we go. So my golem's there. Get my white back. So the arch tower shooting the golem, and now if I use a couple of wizards sort of here, potentially even a third wizard as well, that's going to make sure that these buildings are out the way. These buildings are going to be out the way as well, and then I've got the elixir pump, the elixir storage and the barracks left. Because once the wizard has killed the spell factory, it will then move on and take down the army camp. So if I then, as an example, break in the wall here, then when I drop my king down, he's going to hit the storage, he's then going to hit the barracks, depending on where I drop him, or the other one first, and then he's going to go inside the base to take down the elixir storage and the wizard tower, and then continue to move through. At that point the queen will go and shoot him, he'll get angry and go and kill her. So there you go. So you don't actually need the queen for this part of the raid actually, but the clan castle will come out, and that's where she's really useful at going inside. So unless you take an alternative strategy to take down the clan castle, and then you just do it, so like a split hero sort of scenario, then you need to get her in as well. So the funneling on this example, because we've got some potential no air defense to take down the minions, we could use minions for the bottom side, or we could use well, we couldn't use wizards, but we can use wizards on the north side because we've got the golem that's going to be tanking for them. So assume that we knew that there were Teslas there and they were going to stop the minions, or assume that that was an archer tower. What you'd probably have to do, because of the distance between the defences of the archer tower and the cannon at the bottom, you'd probably need to use 2 golems. So if I now add in a second pink dot, which I've now entered. Oh god, I hate Skitch sometimes, it's so annoying. Let me delete that. Okay, so go away. If I now draw a second pink dot on, which is probably where I place my second golem, still breaking in the little white line that I've drawn over here, but then that cannon's going to shoot the golem, which means that these white lines here, it'd probably be more efficient if I used wizards. So that's a consideration you have to take, whether you're going to use, you can get away with minions. You've got to check the air defense ranges obviously when you're actually on a proper scout of the base. So if we go back into the attack now, you'll see we'll have a little look and check out the defense ranges on that base. Hold on, go to the right place, clan, warlog, view map, and it was number 23 I think. So if we click scout on this base now, here we go, you're going to see that the arch tower ranges, they're not going to hit it's not going to hit the minions. The cannon range, well, cannon doesn't matter. On the other side, you can see if I drop my golem where my pink blob was, let's have a look. Yeah, I've dropped my golem sort of on the army camp, so it's going to be within range of that. And because the golem's going to be going in at that angle, when I send my wall breakers in from a different angle, they're not going to get hit by splash damage either. The only thing I've got to consider is that the angle that I've got to make sure I don't drop my wall breakers in the cannon range, to take that down. So let's take it a little bit deeper. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the sketch now, and that's still the angle we want to go in at, assume. We've figured out a way to take down the outside layer. So let's just say I drop my queen. Let me go back into, let's go with yellow for the queen for whatever reason, and the smaller size. So I drop my queen here. Now let's after I've done my golems and wizard drops, so we'll go with the 2 golem route. What needs to happen now, what you've got to be careful of, let's just assume that there's a Tesla either side of the cannon, because what can easily happen is, let's just say the golems tank, the wizards take down the barracks, the dark storage. Hold on. Oh wow, it's not letting me draw. Delete that one. Yeah, it's not letting. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm such a noob at this. And they take down, the wizards take down those 2 as well, but then they get shot by the Teslas that are next to the cannon. So what might happen now is, if you drop the queen down, although all these sort of external buildings are pretty much gone, the queen might shoot the elixir storage here, then go and shoot the Tesla, then go and shoot the cannon and move off course. So you've got an issue there whereby the internal layer, because all the layers close together, same goes up the north side of the base. If we jump back in, I think I've left that too long, it's going to freeze. Yeah, same go. If the first layer of buildings are very close to each other, the queen might target one of them, then move off and start moving around the outside of the base. So the more advanced funneling, particularly in the new AI within the last few months, so the more advanced funnel creators now have to find a way to take down the outside layer, of course, but start impacting the inside layer. So that might be wizards that move once they've taken down certain buildings, or putting a few extra wizards in so that they then hit the next layer of wall with golems still tanking for them. Example up here, look, we've got 4 buildings all very close to each other, so even if we take down this whole outside layer and we drop a queen, there's nothing to say. She might just go storage, cannon, storage, where even if the walls here are broken, the next layer of walls got a jump on it, so it's already there for her to go inside. She might just think, well, I'm going to shoot the closest building and move around the outside of the base. So then what you need to do is take it up a level. Find a way to take down that next layer. Now the normal way to do that, or the best way to do that, so if I use 2 golems here, sort of adjacent with the cannons, all those cannons are going to be distracted, and the arch tower is going to be distracted, and that's key, because now, while that's happening, if I drop a single hog on each cannon, what's going to hit them? So the wizard tower might, but I think the hog will take down the wizard tower, the cannon first, or it might be just slightly out of range. The expo might, I need to check that in a second, but here we go. The expo will. Okay, so that's a risk. So I can do it on the north side one because the arch tower is going to be distracted. Actually, the second arch tower. So it's a bit of a bad example actually because I can't do it. So if I was going to do this, I'd have to be quite wizard heavy and almost allow the wizards to take down at least the storage here and the cannon there. So I might send in 2 hogs or potentially 3 hogs to take that down and move in a bit. Or I might add extra wizards in while the cannons are shooting the golems, so that the extra layers built in, less wizard heavy on near the camp and the collector, because what I want to happen is by the time that the outside layers are taken down, that the inside layers on the sort of either side of where I want to go and are taken down, so that the queen and the king will just move inwards smoothly and go down the middle, because it's just a series of buildings. So don't just consider funneling as the one layer, consider it as the inner layer as well. You can and you do that by using a combination of minions, wizards and hog riders, because hogs, even giants actually, if you, let's use another example, if you needed you wanted to use 1 golem to break in by this cannon, but you needed these pumps to go down. What you could do is drop a single giant and then a couple of wizards down as well. So while the cannon's distracted shooting the giant, the wizards are doing damage and then they kill the buildings. So you can actually help your funneling by, and it's all about the base that you take down. So you've got to sort of identify how many things are going to be hitting the giant firstly. So as soon as it gets a bit closer, the arch tower is going to be shooting as well. So it's not going to have a huge lifespan, but it should be enough to be, and this will come with experience, should be enough to take down, if you drop a wizard on each of those elixir pumps, to take those down, and then you drop your golem by the cannon, a couple of wizards to the other side. So you just need to make sure that you can achieve what you need to achieve, which is taking down the buildings either side of, so your queen and your king have no choice but to go inside. So don't rely on the AI to help you out. Make it foolproof is the best way to describe it. We're going to look at Vortex's raid now, because I think this is a good time to do it. I know I do a lot of talking in these videos. I don't mean to. Well, I do mean to, because I like to be thorough. But I don't mean to bore you guys, so I'm not trying to do that. Now, Vortex has gone with a completely different idea. He's actually identified that a couple of loons and a hog, he can take that cannon completely out. It's also showed him that there's no Teslas there, so he doesn't need to worry about that. But it's meant that funneling's going to be a hell of a lot easier now. And he's sent in the hog as well to get the CC pull. Trips and bombs in the process, so that started. Vortex is going to lure his troops at the top side of the base, and let's see, he's going to break in the north side by the look of it. So we'll look at this. Okay, he's identified that he can drop a minion on each of the camps, because there's no air defense nearby. The arch towers are in a layer or nowhere close to it, so that those minions are going to be high value. Minions do lower damage per second than wizards, so they will take more time, but army camps are now lower health. So a minion on an army camp, it will take it down quite quick, you can see. He's dropped the golems down now, and the witches are there to distract the loons and the dragon. Oop. And he's dropped some wizards down now to help take down the second layer, the outside layer, look. So now his queen is going to start shooting those cannons, but the risk is she's going to hit the drills and start moving around the outside of the base. So he's dropped a jump spell down, but because he dropped the queen right in the middle, she's going to stay in the middle. The wizard up here as well, look, is helping do the funneling for him. And now the king and the queen have no choice but to go inside the base, jump into the core, meet the enemy queen. King is going to go and kill her, and he's done what he needed to do, which is to create a funnel, meaning that the king and the queen had no choice but to go inside the base, using a combination of minions and a combination of wizards. Now he's achieved what he wanted to achieve. He eliminated double giant bomb threats en route, killed the heroes, killed the CC, so his hogs were free to take down the rest of the base. So very nice attack by Vortex, very nicely identified. In fact, and if you saw he took down that cannon, that could have actually been a help for the funneling part of the job. So don't try and be linear. Oh, I've got to use a couple of golems and wizards to funnel. You can use minions, you can use giants to distract defenses for a certain amount of time, while wizards or minions do damage to take a couple of key buildings down. You can use hog riders to take buildings on the next layer of defense as well. The sky's your limit. You've just got to tailor it to each base you see. So the next one we're going to look at is here. He's going in the north side as well, and immediately he if we have a look at the base, there's big gaps between the arch tower and the cannons at both 130 and 1030. So the funneling is a bit easier on this one. He needs to try and take down the arch towers, preferably. That would be nice. So you can see he's gone quite wizard heavy, so 3 wizards down. Notice he spread them evenly as well. And I assume he's going to do the same on the other side. Look, so the wizards are going to take the buildings down, then move forwards, and then at least one of them is going to hit the archer tower. You can see on the left and the right, the archer tower is going to be hit now. And all the golems are hitting the and you can see, there you go, perfect. So now the queen, although she's been pulled to the left slightly because she's hitting the she was hitting the gold storage, there's nothing for her now. She needs to move inwards to take it down. The only risk was that elixir pump storage, but she couldn't get to it. So the king and the queen had to go inside. So very quickly he's realised that just by being a bit heavier on his wizard deployment, he'd get the second layer of defence down and make it easier for his king and queen to go in. Then he was able to get in, get to the king and the queen, take the CC down, and hog the rest of the base. So again, it's the formula works. Do your funnel, the kill squad, get the kill squad inside the base, using your funneling troops, complete your objective of tripping giant bombs, killing the enemy queen, and killing the enemy clan castle, and then the rest of the base will be a lot easier. Obviously there are certain tricks to hog deployments, and the more complicated the base, the more thought needs to go into that, but for the generic anti-2-star bases, even most of the anti-3-star bases, getting the basics, these are the basics, getting these right will improve your ratio massively of getting 3 stars. So another raid we're going to look at, it's an anti-2-star base, Tunnel pretty central, and he's got a pretty wide funnel. So you can see where his golems are. He's using his golems to sort of tank all the defences, as much defence as he can. He's got quite a lot of wizards, so 2 are on the bottom golem, but he's thrown a hog in as well. So look, he's identified that nothing's going to be hitting his hog because the cannon is shooting the one golem, the arch tower is shooting the other golem. So he's carefully been looking at the because you've got time to scout, you can look at the radius of defences. He's realised that he can send a single hog in to go and take that defence down. It will also stop that defence from hitting his golems, which is nice, and it'll help with the funnel. And you can see the bottom, the wizard's taking down the gold storage, which will mean the queen definitely won't deviate. The only worry is the north side, but he dropped his queen and his king in such a way that they had no choice to go in. But so the funneling, you've got to combine that with working out where to drop your heroes. So for example, if there was you wouldn't want to drop your king sort of north side because it potentially would route up to that gold mine. So he dropped him sort of right in the middle, so as soon as you drop a troop, it's going to go to the closest building near it that it wants to. So if it's a defence targeting troop, it's going to go to closest defence. If it's just a troop that targets anything, it will go to the closest building it can reach. If it shoots over walls, it will. So if you'd have dropped your queen slightly north, she'd have gone to that gold storage. So you've got to identify how to both destroy... it all starts with figuring out what angle you want to go in. And then you just analyze the defenses, analyze the radiuses, figure out where you need to drop your golems to tank the defenses that you need to, so that you can then use wizards, minions and the combination of to create the funnel. So it's massively important. It comes through practice and exposure to practicing it. Whether you use a jump or wall breakers to break in is irrelevant almost, because I mean that's part of the kill squad, that's part of actually going through, which is going to be one of the next videos that we do. But this is to help you sort of realise that whatever you send in, whether it's witches, whether it's a queen, whether it's a king, wizards, sorry not wizards, golems, you know, they're all going to go through an entry point. And it's the making the troops go through that entry point, which is the purpose of this video, the purpose of funneling, because they've got a job to do, and you've identified what that job is because you've created the plan. So you need to make sure that they go and achieve that job and don't deviate from it, because as soon as sort of deviation happens, raids can easily fall apart. I'll go back into this vortex one again because it's a great example of funneling. Let me just do it in a little bit of speed and you'll see what I mean. So there was a tester up there which he took down, got the CC pull, and there it is. Look, the minions doing the outside work, the golems down now. The cannons were distracted for a bit, but they're now locking onto the to the golems. Once they've locked on, the wizards are down, creating that funnel inwards, and then that's it. The rest is now easy. The wizards are actually going to take down the cannons as well. They're down, and now they can move. The king and the queen, you drop them central, so they move straight inwards, and no chance for deviation. So I hope this video helped, because there's a lot of different there's a 1,000,001 base layouts out there, each one different in its own right, but the fundamentals are the same. Distracting the defenses that are going to stop you creating, stop your funnel troops from working. So distracting those defenses and clearing the buildings that you need to clear to make sure that your heroes and your witches or whichever go the right way. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, if you want me to try and cover different areas of funneling, let me know in the comments section. If you need anything further explained, let me know in the comments section. If I need to do a follow-up video, I will. But I hope this covered the basics and went through a little bit more than maybe you'd thought. And if you feel like this video is helpful for your clans, for your friends, people that play Clash of Clans or anything like that, obviously let them know and spread the love. So as always, this is what I like to do. I'm a war YouTuber, so I hope you enjoyed this content, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.